Welcome, everyone. My name is Nick Hershey. I'm the president of the Mortgage Calculator. We are a non-delegated correspondent lender that operates quite a bit differently. So I'd like to thank everybody for joining us today so we can have the chance to talk a little bit more about what makes us different. And then I'll have Kyle Hershey, our COO, go over a little bit of the back end and actually show how the software works that we're going to talk about. And then Jose Gonzalez, our sales manager with 27 years of experience, will put it all together. So let me go ahead and start off by sharing my screen here. And hopefully most of you that are on the call today have checked this out, but we'll go over it again and explain a little bit more about what we mean. So obviously the headline here is we're all about unlimited free mortgage leads, training, and software. So myself and Kyle, obviously we're brothers. We come from a different background. So for nearly 20 years, now we've been doing online marketing and building software for our businesses that use that online marketing, and mainly based around lead generation. So we've spent millions of dollars on all of the advertising platforms and built software all based around that in order to route leads into our system. So we come from a little bit different background. We build software and we come from more of a marketing and lead generation background. So we obviously take a little bit different approach here. But let's go ahead and talk about why we do it and how we do it. So what makes working with us differently? We are a non-delegated correspondent, and we're all about the tools to empower you guys to scale your business up exponentially, instantly. So we're more of like a platform for you guys to grow your business, right? We're not necessarily trying to take business from you guys. We want to be able to have you guys operate your own business, but grow, every single one of you grow through leads. So whether it's a company lead or a self-generated lead, we believe that that's really what makes you guys succeed in the long term, is to be able to not only do the business you already do, but continually add new business to your pipeline. So we want to make sure we give you that ability. And it's basically all done through our CRM, which kind of empowers everything. But we'll talk about that in a minute and how it kind of comes all together. So first off, the business model. So this point here, we are a non-delegated correspondent. And what does that mean? We have over 112 different lenders and investors that we work with. So we found that non-delegated correspondent is the best for our business model and how we operate. And that's because with non-delegated correspondent, we can offer brokered and correspondent loans for our borrower. So we built this model out of FDIC Bank as a large branch at the largest broker shop, as a non-delegated branch and a delegated branch. And so when we started our own business, we wanted to make sure we chose the best route, which was always non-delegated correspondent, where we can use both routes there. So really, what does that mean? We always have the best rates and pricing when we go correspondent, because correspondent always beats the broker pricing. So we have the same partners typically, but the correspondent rate sheet is always going to be better because we're funding the loans with our money, taking that risk, and employing our employees and our law firm and everybody involved in order to produce that transaction. So we have over 5,000 loan programs where we're the correspondent lender with our 32 correspondent investors. Now, those don't always fit every single loan. So when we have those 5,000 loan programs where we have the best rates and pricing, that's amazing for our customers. But what do we do when a customer has something that doesn't fit? We have over 80 wholesale lenders for specialty loans. So anytime it doesn't fit in our box of where we can get the best rates and terms for our customer, we want to make sure we have the outlet that does. So we want to make sure we have a relationship, a wholesale relationship, if there is another partner out there that can do that loan at a better price. So at the end of the day, what does that mean for you guys as loan officers? We have every loan program imaginable, and we're always going to give our customers the best rate, whether that's a correspondent investor that has the best rate and terms for our borrower that satisfies their needs, or that's a wholesale brokered outlet. We want to be able to do both at any given time. So this is the best model for that. So every loan program means we do obviously government loans, VA, USDA, FHA, conventional Fannie, Freddie. We also have the CDFI no ratio loans, all the non-QM loans, commercial, DSCR, mixed use, SBA, anything you've ever heard of mortgage related. We try to make sure we have that product. And if we don't, please let us know. You can go ahead and post that in one of our training centers we'll go over, and we'll go ahead and add that as quick as possible. Now, how do we make this all happen? Again, it's all about software. So we've built every line of code for what you're about to see. We have full-time developers on staff, and we have put together our own fully integrated POS, CRM, and LOS. And really what that means for you guys and your customers, of course, is a single login for everything. You don't need, when we're a broker, right? You have 100 different outlets, you have 100 different logins. You have multiple different credit outlets, you have multiple different logins, multiple different AMCs, multiple different logins. Everything for us was built for us by us. One login for you as the LO, one login for your customers. So our customers can instantly flow from putting their name, email, phone number on your website to pulling their own live rates with our integration, right? Not logging in anywhere, you not logging in anywhere, to completing their 1003 without you logging in anywhere or them logging in anywhere, to pulling their own credit and liabilities, to that loan application popping in Encompass, all without you lifting a finger. So that happens through our API integrations. So although we have just one login with our system, we still use all the great systems you guys are used to and the systems we have to use to operate. So obviously Encompass, nobody likes necessarily using Encompass, but we use it on the back end for selling the loans. But on the front end, you guys can use the CRM. You don't even have to log into Encompass ever. We use Optimal Blue. You never have to log into Optimal Blue, right? We use CIC Credit and Meridian Link Credit Services. You don't have to log into any of those necessarily. You do it all through the CRM. Count Check for VOE, VOI, VOA. Same thing with Appraisal Works as an API we have to get all 5 AMCs with no logins. Everything we have is integrated with just a click of a button in the CRM system there. And again, we have our full-time developers in order to implement new features as well. So new lender, that's my work, right? But a new feature on the website, a new CRM feature, we can go ahead and add that into our developer list and add that feature. You guys can go ahead and request that online. So how do you request that? That's our remote-based learning center and live trainings and all the support here. So how do we put this all together? We found in all the different platforms that we've had, we found that the training was definitely lacking. And we definitely wanted to embrace the remote style, right? That's our work style for all of our different companies. So we want to make sure we embrace that with you guys. So for us, that means you guys can expand your skills anytime in our remote training center. That's like our classroom style with courses. We also have our live in-house MLO trainings 5 days a week. Those are our private webinars that you guys will do with our team leaders or our compliance manager for all the different classes, etc. We also have our public live mortgage rates podcast we do every morning. We just got off it this morning, where we put our programs out there to the public. You guys can obviously get customers, also a chance for you guys to learn new products as we put them out there. We also do our live loan officer training podcast 2 days per week, which are again public webinars where we put out there for all loan officers to explain new different tips, tricks, products, all that kind of cool stuff. We also have our live Zoom support Monday through Friday, 10:30 to 6 p.m. Eastern time. So if you need to get unstuck on a file or you need to know what to click or what to do, you can go ahead and log in and go face to face. Again, we're remote, but we want to make sure we're face to face as well. So Zoom puts us face to face. Our processing team in the Zoom support can click whatever button or show you whatever button, take over your screen and click that button to get you unstuck. And to top it all off, we have our knowledge center. That's where we put thousands of articles, not just from us, but from our partners, right? So we have hundreds of different lenders and investor partners. They all have tips, tricks, webinars, matrices, guidelines, all kinds of different things that we put into our knowledge center. So with one query, one search, you can search all of our different resources there. So a lot of different things at your fingertips. Now, these last bullets don't necessarily fit in a title, but these are some things that I'm very passionate about as well, especially this first one, closing our DSCR business purpose loans. These are the loans that I love to do when I used to originate, but we can do those in over 44 states. So a great opportunity for you guys to expand your licensing footprint without actually having to get new licensing, because those are our commercial business purpose loans. We try to make it very simple for you guys. Again, we're from more of a marketing and technology background. We want to make everything as simple as possible. We have all the different lead sources Kyle will show you. Everything is simply a 50-50 split. If you take a company lead, it's half of what the regular commission is. If you have a self-generated lead, you get the full commission that it's listed there. No gimmicks at all. Everything was what you see is what you get. The goal here is for anybody at any time to be able to refer deals to a senior loan officer for 75 basis points. So if there's any conflict of interest or any time where you may not have the state set up, you can go ahead and click a button, just click the button right there. That deal will then go to someone who knows exactly what to do. Maybe it's a loan type you don't know how to do. Maybe it's a spouse where you have a conflict of interest, etc. You can just click a button and get that lead pushed on. We are all about leads. Not only do we have leads coming to you, but we want to set up your own leads. So we can support you in setting up your own lead campaigns using ours, but also if you have your own leads already going, no problem. We'll show you how to import those with our webhook. It's pretty easy. And to top it all off, again, we're from more of a marketing technology background, no monthly fees, no hidden fees. What you see is what you get. We want to make sure we're very transparent and straightforward. So let's get into the plans and the fees here. So this is a replay. If you guys drop off for any time, you guys can always watch the replay here on the website. But let's get into our compensation plan. So these are probably different than other companies. So please pay attention here. I want to do my best job to explain the differences and make sure everybody picks the right plan that fits best for them. So everybody obviously wants to become a senior loan officer is the goal here for the highest comp. So we always start there. Up to 250 basis points comp. Obviously that's with bonuses. So what's the base comp here? Might be a little hard to read on the screen share. 200 basis points on conventional and non-QM. That's the stuff we're all used to. And that's 2% commission for those not familiar with basis points. And again, very simple 50-50 split. So if a senior loan officer takes a company lead, they earn their 100 basis points on company leads for the conventional non-QM, all the loans we're used to. And that's 1% for those not familiar. Now, what do our senior loan officers get? Obviously, they're going to get everything that everybody else does. But the icing on the cake here is they're going to be the receivers of the referral leads from your team there that maybe have a conflict of interest. Like I mentioned, the spouse, maybe they don't know how to do a fix and flip loan yet, but they're going to know the customer. They're going to help you get the information from the customer. So these are more of referrals, right? They're going to be coming from your teammates, and they're not just leads of people clicking a button. These are actual people that are ready to go with deals. All of our senior loan officers obviously have unlimited access to all the different lead sources at a 50-50 split. So we want to make sure our senior loan officers always have the first crack at all the different leads. So there's no restrictions at all. Now, how do you get to the 250 basis points? You can get bonuses here. So 25 basis points bonus on any production over 2 million per month. So no problem. Again, we don't want to take your business away from you. We want to let you guys operate your business and add to that with new leads and stuff. So if you guys are already rocking and rolling, no problem, eligible for bonuses. And if you guys really have a huge pipeline, no problem, 50 basis points bonus on 5 million plus volume. Also, if you're interested in becoming more of a manager, you can take on a team leader role and make 15 basis points for helping other teams or other people on your team, structure their loans. So you can help structure those loans, help disclose those loans, get that all together. And if you really want to take that serious, you can get another 25 basis points there as a branch manager if you take all the responsibility on yourself to, obviously get your team, your branch leads, disclose all those files for your branch, all the legal responsibilities that come with being a branch manager. You can make an extra 25 basis points on all your team's loans there that are in your branch. Now, since obviously we need to learn our system, how do you get to senior loan officer? The fine print here, probably hard to see on the screen share. It says 6 loans closed to upgrade to senior MLO. So we want to make sure we have a different system. Not many companies, I don't even really know any, that allow you to wear a broker hat one day and a lender hat the other day or even the same day, right? So it's very different here. So we want to make sure you guys understand the system and understand how to wear a broker hat and correspondent hat at the same time. So everybody's going to start as a loan officer, close 6 deals, get some deals under your belt, and then you'll be up and running as a senior loan officer. So when everybody's going to start as a loan officer, 150 basis points on your first 6 deals while you learn. And that's on conventional non-QM, and that's 1.5% for those not familiar. Now, if you take a company lead, again, very simple 50-50 split, you'll still have access to a bunch of leads. Go ahead and get those first 6 deals done as a lead. You'd get 75 basis points on any company leads for conventional non-QM when you're a loan officer there. So again, you'll have access to the leads at a 50-50 split. You'll have access to the live click to claim leads, which Kyle's going to show here in a second. You can still refer deals to senior LOs anytime for 75 basis points. So if there's any reason you're uncomfortable or maybe have a conflict, you can still earn and refer that deal to a senior loan officer and learn the system while you're doing it. We are licensed for 24 states for primary and second homes, and anybody can originate in 20 additional states for our business purpose loans because we do 44 business purpose states without necessarily having to get a license. So great opportunity to expand your footprint, again, without necessarily having to get a new license. Of course, all our loan officers and senior loan officers are paid via W-2, and our loan officers need to be full-time. So the fine print here is 1 loan per month minimum production. Obviously, if you're not doing a loan per month, you're not making income, and that wouldn't be full-time. So we want to make sure our loan officers are all full-time, both feet in. If for any reason you're not full-time, maybe you're just getting into it, maybe you're a realtor on the side, no problem. You want to add to your income, no problem. But if you're not full-time, you would join as a junior loan officer. So this is the plan for you. You're still going to make great commission, 75 basis points commission. You're still licensed. Obviously, you're still using your license. And you're going to simply refer deals to senior loan officers and help them work with your customers and your clients. So you still have access to all of our software. You'll still have access to some of the leads that Kyle will show you here in a second. And again, the whole goal is to refer deals to senior loan officers so you can earn 75 basis points using your license while you learn and get comfortable with stepping up into a loan officer and signing the loan app and all that comes with that. This is where there's no minimum production requirements, right? Because you may be part-time, you're just learning, no problem. This is the plan for you if you want to just get started. And since you're part-time and not doing the loan directly, you have an option to be paid via 1099 on this plan, but not the other plans. Again, the fine print here is no minimum production requirements there. So this is a plan for you if you are not full-time or for any reason need to get a little bit under your feet before you start on the loan officer plan. So hopefully this makes sense for everybody. If you have any questions, again, drop them in the Q&A, but let's go ahead and have Kyle take over and actually show you guys a little demo of how the software actually works. So you ready, Kyle?
Yes, I am. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen here. So, of course, when you come on board, we'll do a full training on the whole system, but just want to show you some highlights here. Of course, we have our CRM that works like any other CRM where you take your notes and send your emails and send your texts, and they pile up down here in chronological order, and you can set reminders for yourself. You can put people on action plans, drip campaigns to automatically email them and text them, you know, over time and all that kind of good stuff. But what really starts to set our system apart here is our quoting system. So within a few minutes, without, with only getting 6 pieces of info from the client, without pulling their credit or anything like that, within 2 minutes, you can send a client a quote through our system where you can fill in a couple pieces of info, click one button to pull up all the rates through our Optimal Blue API from all of our different investors. And then within 2 minutes, you can send them a nice quote that looks like this, where they can see their different rate choices, scroll over these things, see what they mean. That pulls in the Google map automatically. It pulls in the Zestimate automatically. The proposed loan info here, monthly breakdown of the taxes and insurance, the estimated lender fees. Of course, you here as the loan originator. And then you can also attach your realtors to these quotes. So your realtor partners that send you business absolutely love this, because they know when they send you clients, not only can you quote them within minutes, but you can attach them to the quote, and you're keeping them in front of their client's face saying, hey, we are your team that's pushing this deal across the finish line, right? So your realtor partners absolutely love this. Now, the coolest part is your client can go ahead and click start my loan application right here, and it pops them right into their borrower portal where they can then start their loan application right here. They do the full 1003 right here in our system. They don't need to leave. We're going to be requesting the basic documents that we need, and they have the ability to upload them here, right here in their portal. They can see their loan info. They can see the milestone of where their loan is at, which automatically updates through our system. So as you move through the milestones of the loan, it's going to automatically notify them, and they can also see it here in our system. And of course, they can communicate with you here as well. So they can pop right there into their borrower portal. Now let's look at what this looks like on your end. After your customers started their application, you can also help them with their application here. You can click here to continue their application. Maybe you're a phone app taker and you want to, help them fill it in. That's fine. You can also help them upload, the different documents here and all that kind of good stuff, right? But you can also request different documents. So if we click this button, we can request standard documents here and say, you know what, I'm going to need 12 months bank statements from them. Now it's going to be asking for 12 months bank statements when they log into their borrower portal. You can also request an entirely different packet. So let's say this came in as a conventional loan, but you know what, they actually qualify for a VA loan, but they're self-employed. Now, I don't personally know all of the documents I need for a VA self-employed loan, but the system does. So I could click this and I could say I want to replace all the documents I was asking for with just what we're going to need for a self-employed VA loan, right? So super easy to change the entire packet you're asking for. And you can also request signatures instantly. You can say, you know what, I need them to sign this. It's going to ask them to sign it when they log in. And of course, they don't need to leave the page, right? They click one button. We have the API with the e-sign, legal e-sign that pops up right here in our system. They never have to leave the page. And then of course, you can request custom documents. If you need something specific, you can request those as well. Now, what happens here when your client fills out their application and submits it, and they give us permission to pull credit, we pull credit instantly, right? We don't make your borrower pay for it, right? We pay for it, and then of course we'll be reimbursed at closing. And so it's frictionless, right? Your client can fill out their application, submit it, we pull the credit. Now, when you click the Encompass API right here, it pulls up Encompass on our end, right, in our CRM, and the Wholesale 3 info is already in here. The credit is already pulled and the credit is already in here, and it's ready for you to go to originate. Now, notice how snappy this is. This is not the server side version of Encompass where everything takes 10 minutes, right? We can very quickly originate the loan here in the Encompass API, right? Now, another great thing we have here is once you're doing the loan, we have our processor assist button here. So you can order VOE, VOA, VOI, you can request title, request insurance, file your COCs, cancel the loan, lock the loan. You can do all those things here instantly with the click of a button with our processor assist. Now, as the loan continues to go through the process and you go into underwriting, what happens is the underwriters will request conditions, and you have them right here on this same screen, the conditions where you can either upload a document to satisfy the conditions, or you could dispute the condition, or of course mark it as fulfilled. But right here in the same page on your docs tab, you can not only, upload all the initial docs, collect the application, request documents, all that kind of stuff, but you also go ahead and fulfill the underwriting conditions right here, or you could dispute the condition back, right? So you see here how in this one site in our software, we go from taking a borrower from being a, name, email, phone number, from being a lead to communicating with them, to quoting them, to collecting their application, collecting their documents, processing the loan, underwriting the loan, and doing everything here from start to finish, pulling their credit, originating the loan in Encompass, the whole process all the way through. One login for you and one login for your client through the entire process. Now I want to talk about where these leads are coming from, right? So where do these leads come from in the first place? Well, most of them come from our Facebook campaign. So those are coming in live. So the second somebody clicks on one of our ads on Facebook, you get a text instantly to claim that lead and call them. So you're going to call them within seconds of them clicking on one of our ads and double opting in to be contacted about that loan type. So those are going to be coming into your phone all day. Those are our hot, fresh leads coming in from our campaign, right? So those are the first and foremost leads that we give you. Now, another way that we provide you with leads is through our auto dialer. So we have an auto dialer here, works like any other auto dialer, where you can call 300, 400, 500 people in a day. You just pick up your phone once and then you go next call, next call. You can press one button to drop an automated text message to them and email. So with the click of a button, if they don't answer, you can click a button that drops an automated text and email to them, and call hundreds of people in a day. And we already have it loaded up with leads for you. So you'll see here, we have a bunch of different lead lists, from bank statement loans to foreign national to business purpose DSCR. We have cold call lists in here, some trigger lead lists in here. So a bunch of different lead types that you can call. You can call hundreds of people in a day using the auto dialer. Now, another way you can work leads through our system is to advertise. So our advertising tab here, so we can actually manage a Facebook campaign for you. So these hot, fresh leads you're getting from our Facebook campaigns on a lead split, we can actually manage a campaign for you to get you the same results. So we can copy our campaign, put your budget on it, Those leads will then go directly to you, so you don't have to click to claim them, right? And then you don't have to pay a lead split on them. So, super easy. We'll copy our campaign. You say, hey, I want DSCR leads. We copy our DSCR campaign that we know works and put your budget on it and route those leads to you without a lead split. Now, a great example I like to go over here is one of our loan officers, Nicole. She closed her first loan. It was a first loan ever, $1,060,000 loan, right? Her commission was $16,000. And because it was from one of the leads from our campaigns, but it was one of the campaigns that she purchased. So because it was her lead, she saved $8,000 on the lead split, right? So definitely important to invest in your own leads as well. In addition to the leads we give you on a lead split, it's important to invest in your own leads as well to close some deals without a lead split. Now, you can also import leads from anywhere else you may buy leads. So we have our import leads here. We give you your custom webhook. You can use Zapier for any legitimate lead source you already use. If you already buy leads from Zillow or Lending Tree or Free Rate Update or something like that, as long as it's a legitimate lead source, you can use your custom webhook here to bring them into our CRM in real time. So as soon as they come in from, Lending Tree, they get inserted into your CRM automatically, instantly. You're notified about it. So you can call them and quote them and collect the documents, all that, just like any other lead that we give you, right? So you can import leads from any other legitimate lead source here using your webhook. We give you the instructions here to do so. So whether it's a lead that we're giving you on a split, or a lead that you're purchasing from a campaign, or a lead that you're purchasing from somewhere else, it can all come right into the system the same exact way. Now what I want to do is go ahead and talk about the type of leads that we get and why. And so I'm going to have Nick take over here and explain the type of leads that we go for. So as Nick said, we're more on the digital marketing side before we got into mortgages even. And so Nick has been doing digital marketing for over 20 years and spent a lot of money on it, which in digital marketing, that's what makes you better, right? The more you spend, the more practice you get. And he is certified by Facebook as a digital marketing associate. He's certified by Facebook as a media planning professional. He's certified by Google as a Google Ad search specialist. So he is our lead master here. So I'm going to let him talk about the type of leads we get and why. Then we'll have Jose bring this all together and we'll open it up to questions. So go ahead, Nick. Let's talk about the lead type.
All right. So whenever we help anybody with leads, whether it's one of our companies or anybody we're consulting, we want to make sure we do something different and unique and provide value, right? So, 4+ years ago when we first started out at FDIC Bank and wanted to make sure we did something different, we wanted to obviously target different people. So we don't want to do what all the big box retailers are doing, which is target, 700+ credit, great refinance clients in order to, spend a bunch of money on ads and reduce your guys' commission and basically kind of automate the process, right? We want to actually provide value and do something unique. So we've always set out in advertising to the customers that the big box people do not advertise to. So that's your self-employed borrowers, your investors, your self-employed people in like the new economy, like your Uber drivers, or even people like crypto people that don't even really have jobs even per se at all, but are part of this new economy, right? So we want to make sure we advertise to those people who are being neglected. We want to make sure we advertise the programs that speak to them, which is typically the non-QM programs, the bank statement type of programs. And then we want to make sure we put the power in your guys' court there to make sure you guys properly analyze their income. So whenever someone clicks on an ad, if maybe they got denied by a big box retailer, maybe they'll click an ad on a bank statement loan because I think that's what they need and they may need it. They're going to get sent to you guys and you guys are going to learn how to properly analyze it, right? So we're still going to do VA, USDA, FHA, conventional if they qualify. Maybe the big box retailer didn't know how to do self-employed income, or maybe they're an investor with 100 properties and they didn't want to do the full spreadsheets, but we'll teach you guys how to do all that. So we make sure we properly analyze their income. And the most important thing is if we do need a bank statement or even a CDFI or even the craziest program that exists, because that's what the customer needs, we have it, right? So we're going to make sure we have the outlet for that once we teach you guys how to do it. And then, of course, we're going to have the best pricing. So as I mentioned before, we're always going to have the correspondent pricing when we have the best programs and our investors have, a home for it. But even if we have to do broker, we're not going to discriminate and force our clients to go one way or the other. If a brokered outlet has the best pricing and terms for our client, we're going to use that. Our margin's always 275, no matter if we go broker or correspondent. So it's always going to be the same for our borrower. We're always going to look out for our borrower's best interests at all times. Doesn't matter if that's an in-house deal or if we're going to partner with someone else who may be able to have a better pricing. And of course, we have all the craziest requests. So if it goes from, the standard government stuff and then bank statements doesn't work, again, we have everything under the sun that goes beyond that. So we want to teach you guys how to go down the order there, and every program that exists, we have available. So we get the craziest requests sometimes for programs, but that's important because we want to be able to add those different programs to our repertoire. So the next time we get that request, we have the home for that loan. So hopefully that covers it there for you, Kyle. Anything else?
Absolutely. Yeah, so the last thing I want to do here before we open up to questions is have Jose talk about kind of how this all comes together and we actually do loans, right? So Jose is our veteran here, 27 years of experience as both a loan officer and a realtor. And so I want to let him talk about how everything kind of comes together here, and then we'll open it up to questions. So go ahead, Jose.
Absolutely. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us. So you heard about the great technology. You heard about the amazing Leads program. It's just a matter of time. Once you come on board, you're going to get quotes accepted, applications submitted, and then, of course, you're going to be reaching out. What do I do? Well, we definitely want you closing loans within 30 days of completing your training. So it's really important to know how everything works. Some of you may come on board with experience already in doing loans, but still have to learn our technology and our systems. We have multiple layers of support for you. They mentioned our Zoom room, which is staffed by our in-house processing, where you can pop in at any given time of the day during our business hours and get quick assistance for your less complicated items. Need credentials, can't log in, issue with Encompass, why can't I get this DU to work? You don't have to wait to book a meeting with your team leader or book a meeting with management. You can go right into the Zoom room, get that support. You heard the story of Nicole, who closed within 21 days a very difficult profit and loss loan, which on top of everything else had an appraisal transfer, right? The borrower came to her with a denied loan. They were trying to go full dog and an appraisal. Basically said, sure, that sounds good what you're telling me. As long as you can use my transferred appraisal, let's go. So we were able to use a transferred appraisal. We were able to properly review and analyze a loan and properly place it as a profit and loss loan instead of a full doc self-employed borrower loan, right? This occurred with Nicole meeting with team leaders to get the guidance she needed to not keep making the same mistakes that the other MLO from the other company had made in trying to put the square peg through the round hole. They did not have all the loan options that we did. The only option they had was full doc. That's what they tried to go with. But we were able to size up the deal, present it to the borrower, and happily proceed to closing using the transferred appraisal within 21 days. Now, mind you, she did have multiple meetings with me throughout this process where the needed guidance was provided to her, but that's what we're talking about. We're talking about our MLOs not spinning their wheels and wasting their time when they could be closing loans and making money, satisfying customers, meeting their expectations, and getting referrals. Those are all key components to a sustainable MLO career. So again, we're talking about team leaders who you're going to meet with as soon as you get a quote accepted or an application submitted. You're going to be receiving email alerts, as are your team leaders, as is management, that you've had this application submitted or this quote accepted. You will be receiving multiple emails from all of the different parties that received that same email alert offering to assist you with that deal to make sure that you know how to proceed so that you don't waste any time, get that application submitted, disclosed, and your loan submitted to underwriting. So you would be meeting with your team leader for that. And then if it's a non-delegated file where we are the lender, you would be meeting with the disclosure desk to get that file reviewed as a last quality control check. And then we would disclose your file if everything was complete. At the end of that meeting, you would also get the opportunity to sign your documents right there before you leave the meeting. If it's a brokered file, you would not need to meet with the disclosure desk because we're not the lender. We're not going to be disclosing the file, but you would meet with your team leader to make sure the file is complete prior to you going to the lender's portal, uploading it to get it disclosed. Once your file is disclosed, we do have our intake processor, which will complete intake on the files that are non-delegated correspondent files. Once intake is completed, our internal underwriting support team will then submit the file to the investor portal of your choice. That file will have already been registered in the portal of your choice by our intake processor. Once the conditions are received, we will notify you of the conditions, break them down for you, and you start working on that. Oh, and I forgot to state, our internal underwriting support team will give you preliminary conditions for you to start working on while the file is submitted and being reviewed by the investor's underwriter, so you can get a head start on what you will most likely need to save you time, so that when you get your appraisal and title back and you got that conditional loan approval, you should hopefully have everything that you need to send the file back for the clear to close. So a lot of different ways that we do assist. We also give you the opportunity on brokered loans to use third-party processing or not use third-party processing. If you feel that you can handle it, you can save your borrower the money, and you can compete with other shops out there that require processing to be used and require that additional expense on the LE. We do not require you to use a processor. We would recommend it, but it is not a requirement to use processing on broker loans for third-party processing. When we are non-delegated correspondent, we have our own internal processing that can assist you throughout the way with our processor assist function, which is a very cool function. The intake processor does do quite a bit of the upfront work on it, but you do have the processor assist button that can assist you with verifications of employment, verification of assets, and other of the more, should I say, less complicated processing parts of the file. So looking forward to having you on board at the mortgage calculator so you can appreciate and benefit from our more than 5,000 mortgage products that we have.
All right, perfect. Thank you. So let's get into the next steps here, and then we will open it up to questions. Nick, if you want to drop the link in the chat for me to sign up. So when you're ready to sign up, you're going to go to the mortgagecalculator.com/join. Nick will drop the link there in the chat for everyone. And what you're going to do is sign up for the plan that's applicable. Are you going to join as a loan officer or a junior loan officer? And so you're going to sign up here. Now it's going to take you to fill out a form, and then it's going to take you right to sign the initial compensation agreement. That compensation agreement, you don't have to sign it right then. It's going to email you a copy as well. So don't worry, you've got time. Get the email, look everything over. But when you are ready to sign that agreement and move forward, once you sign it, that's what kicks off all of the rest of the next steps. Those steps are sponsoring your license and getting your employment agreements and employment ID documents and all that kind of stuff. So first step is to sign up here for whichever plan is applicable. And then once you sign that first agreement, that will kick off all of the rest of the onboarding steps. So the mortgagecalculator.com/join is how you move forward. Nick, if you want to go ahead and stop recording.